Okay, so are y'all ready for this madness? Alright, so this is where I keep all my rings. I got a whole drawer down here. I'm going to show you everything. How about that? There's one. There's two. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 over there. They're too far. I can't reach. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. 39 and 40. Oh. 41. So. It was loud. And it's 4 in the morning. Shh. Why y'all making so much noise? Okay. So, you seen those. Now, the updated tarot. So right now I am not necessarily choosing them out of some sort of, oh, I really like that, I need to get it. Now I'm just sort of padding the inventory. If I look on and they look at least a little interesting, I'm going to get them. And these looked at least a little interesting. Dreaming Way Tarot. Because they had vivid pictures on them, and you know, they kind of remind me of, I don't know why, but they remind me of Mr. Rogers. Because they have these, he had a puppet with a giant nose and then rosy red cheeks. And it just kind of reminds me of Mr. Rogers. And I love the cups in it. The black and white cups. And it's got sort of that little, oh, I can see the shoes. It's got that feel. I don't know. It brought back a nostalgia for me and I had to get it. So I really like these cards. And the one thing I look for is it's got the name and the number. And it's got the amount of wands that are in there. So it's not just 5 of wands and there's 1 wand or no wand in the picture. So I really like those. And I got all these from Amazon lately. There's a few I did not get from Amazon. So that's one. Let's get rid of that. So there is one. And then this one, to know me is to know I love shiny, sparkly things. And you can't get no sparklier than cards draped in gold. So that's why I got these. I don't care what was on here. I just seen this little reflections and all these gold. And I'm like, yep, getting it. But they turn out to be beautiful cards though. The images are very nice. Very, 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 very nice. Ethereal Visions, they're called. Illuminated Tarot 2. Okay, now in this bag, it didn't come in this bag, is my Rider-Waite. I did not like the Rider-Waite for the longest of times because it was just too washed. Like the images were not vibrant enough. But my tastes are changing. That's 3. But these have vibrant color. So I got myself the Rider-Waite deck. See there, the images pop a lot more. It's like somebody just remastered it. And I didn't like the background, you know, that sort of pastel blue striped background. I like this one though. There are 2, and I like the other background too. It's just these images were a little brighter. So I got this one. And this one has 2 sets of the court cards in it. So it doesn't fit in the regular box anymore, so I put it in there. That is 3. And then, of course, the Gilded Tarot. This is the one that I learned from. I don't have the book to show you, but the Gilded Tarot is the one that I learned from. This is my very, very first deck. Like I said, I lost the package that came in, so I wrapped it in a tie. This is covered in my own energy, basically. So it's wrapped up in me. So that is 4. But this one, it's just my first. It's not my favorite, but it's my first. But it has very bright images too. The artist is very good. He's made several decks. I think what's that, Ciro Marchetti or something like that. So he's made a lot of different decks, and they all have very beautiful images on them. So he's the artist. The book is by Josephine, why did I put an R in there? Josephine Ellershaw is the woman's name who wrote the book. She also has a website that she will help you if you email her, because she did me. I would email her, hey, I just got a 7 of Swords in such and such position that doesn't make any sense to me. And so she can, you know, throw you some pointers and some tips and let you know, well, maybe it means this because of that, that, and that. So she is very patient. She's very good. I suggest if you want to start learning, that's a good deck to learn from. So is the Rider-Waite, because that is what most, if not all, tarot decks are based upon, the Rider-Waite. Like the traditional meanings of the Rider-Waite deck pretty much go through all the other tarot cards. That's what they base their cards off of. So that's like the blueprint deck is the Rider-Waite. The Egyptian Tarot. I did not want it for the longest time, and like I said, I'm sort of padding the inventory, so I got it. It does have really nice images though. 3 of Wands. It's just, I don't know, I didn't like the whole flat image hieroglyphic thing. Like, you know, it's just, I don't know, it wasn't 3D, it didn't pop to me. But I learned to like them. You know, they grew on me. They're very nice cards. I love the colors. That's the back of them. And a lot of tarot decks, or a lot of tarot readers who do reversed cards, love when it's this way. I guess is what you call it, symmetrical. Where if you turned it upside down, it still looks as though it's right side up, because you can't really tell which way is upside and which way is down. When you can tell, it sort of defeats the purpose of reversed cards, because you know which ones are reversed and which ones are not. That's 5. I don't know how many I have, so I'm counting them too. This is the Anna K Tarot. I just got this one today. This is the inside. It was wrapped in, the packaging. But when you put it back in there, unfortunately, you're going to have to find some other way to maybe store it because it doesn't stay in one place. There's the guidebook. I've actually only ever read one guidebook. I'm going to read the Radiant White, or the Radiant Rider Weight. I can't say that. Son of a bee. My candle earlier exploded all over the table and got black crap everywhere. Open so you can own up to this. Look, it did it again. And it's got all this garbage just like popped off the thing. And so it got all over the table and now I'm wasting wax everywhere. Son of a bee. So this was the first deck that I used tonight, and it has black crap all on it now. Thank you, Bath and Body Works. So there is some very nice imagery on these cards too. They're very vibrant, which is what I like. There's the Seven of Pentacles, planting the pentacle. And these new decks that I'm getting show different imagery that I just adore. Like that, for instance. None of the pentacle cards are ever shown planted in the ground. It's always shown as it's a harvest card, which means you're waiting on the harvest. But your plants always seem to be having the pentacles on the plants already. So it's time for the harvest. This is trying to teach you patience, not necessarily, okay, it's time to pick. So I really like that. Six of Pentacles, which is sharing. Somebody in the back saying this is being fair to share. Six of Cups, nostalgia and longing for the past. The Five of Cups. Now this one I really loved because it was, here are the Five Cups. There's one way up here and then the rest of the four are on the floor. They're not crying over the spilled, you know how usually it's like the spilled milk card and there's 3 cups laying down and then 2 cups sitting up. He has all of his cups sitting up. He's crying over some cup that probably is some family heirloom or really doesn't matter. This one, he has all 5 of his back here, and it's all nice and springy outside, and he's like stuck in this dilapidated house crying over this thing that, he probably just has an emotional attachment to. So I really love these images. Like really, really love them. They're very different. The Five of Rods or Five of Wands usually depicts battling in a conflict. Arm wrestle. But everybody just seems real joyous about it. It's real different. So that's that one. That's the Anna K Tarot. They just made marks on my bloody table. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. And this one that I don't have a box for is called the Gay Tarot. I seen it online in someone's Twitter feed, and I'm like, yeah, that looks interesting. I gotta get that too. The Gay Tarot, all of the male card or female cards are replaced with male cards. I don't know if there's a lesbian tarot. I did look for it one time. No, I didn't. So I'm going to look for that one. There's also a round tarot to where like the cards are round, like little disc. I'm going to have to get that one too. But anyway, there is the Guide of Coins is the Queen of Coins or the Queen of Pentacles. Now that used to be a pet peeve of mine when I first started picking cards is don't change the name because I am very stuck in my ways. Like very, very, very stuck in my ways. I only like tarot. I don't watch astrology on YouTube. I don't watch remote viewings like when people are just, telling you things that are going to happen. They have to be using tarot cards for me to watch it. If you're not using tarot cards, I'm not watching it. And the reason being is, like I said, I'm really stuck in my way and I like tarot cards. Now, I can watch those other things, like when you tell me you should really watch this one because they said this and this and this. Okay, I can go watch it, but it's not something I'm going to watch all the time. I always gravitate towards the tarot readers. So, there's the Chariot. The Chariot usually depicts a person in a carriage being pulled by one black horse and one white horse. They completely sort of revamped it. Like I said, all of the women have been replaced by men, and they're called guides instead of queens or kings and all of that. And then they changed the other names. So, because this is sort of, like I said, it's gay themed. So this is usually the Judgment card. This is Beyond Judgment. And you can see all the people sort of in the street celebrating Viva la Difference. And then there's the World. And Sage of Coins. This is the King of Coins, because they have, I think it starts with man, or I forget. Anyway. And then there's the Intuitive. This would be the High Priestess. They changed the name on that one too. Focus. Anyway, so that's those. Youth, that's what they did. So it's Youth is the Page. And then Man is the Knight. Guide is the Queen. And then Sage is the King. And that's called the Gay Tarot, which I don't have a box for. So that's 7, right? Then there is, for whatever reason, every time I read on Adam Shift, I keep calling Shift, I want to use this one for whatever reason. So there's the Mermaid Tarot, which there are 2 actual Mermaid Tarot decks. And this is the one I have. There's another one out there. I might get it too, just because. But these images are really cool too. So there is the 6 of Pentacles. 10 of Cups. There's your Happy Family card. 2 of Cups. There's your Bond. And these cards usually depict like a person on the land and then the mermaids. Like the Devil card depicts a person, or depicts a mermaid that came out of the water to try to grab all the shiny things, because apparently mermaids like shiny trinkets. Tried to do that, and then they got trapped in a cage. There's the 9 of Wands. There is the 9 of Pentacles. There is the Hermit. Focus. There's the Sun. So they're very vibrant images too, and that's what I'm always sort of attracted to when I try to choose a tarot deck, is the vibrant images. This is one of the new ones as well, and I really like the imagery in here too. And I love the back of them. Now that green is actually a little more vibrant than is showing up on this camera. But I love that Devil card. The Wheel of Fortune is interesting too. But anyway, like here's some of these images. The Six of Pentacles. Now, here's one thing. Like I always said, it was a pet peeve of mine, but I let it go with this one. The word pentacle is not on this card. Like, that's something I used to require. Like, it has to say pentacle, because a lot of times I'm not looking at the images. I'm just looking at the name, and then I go off my own feeling. And so I can't do that a lot of times when you don't list the name. I have to actually look at the image, which does help sometimes. There's the Eight of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, the Sun. Like, these are vibrant images as well. And I love this one. It shows a person. This is the Seven of Cups. This is the card of confusion. Like, you can't really tell where her head is or where her head begins and the clouds end. So her head is in the clouds. I really like that. Then the Wheel of Fortune showing all the different emotions. Like, you go from elated to happy to to bad day to sad day to bad day to happy to elated. Like, I really like that. Then the Devil card where one person's reaching for more and the other person's reaching for the way out. Those are nice images. It takes me a while to actually find them online. And then there is the Steampunk Tarot, which I won't tell you the whole story again, but I got this one because I seen it online and I really liked it. I guess I will tell you a story. I really liked it. I tried to order it. It came and I didn't know. I live in an apartment, so it was sitting down in the apartment office the entire time. So I told the company, I said, I don't have it because I didn't know where it was. I didn't get any confirmation to say it was delivered. And they said, okay, well, we'll give you credit, and you know, if it does arrive, just keep it or donate it. I said, okay. So then I bought one from Amazon, and then Amazon sent me an email saying, well, you have a package down in the office. So I go to the office, and then they gave me both of them. And so I gave the other one away. There is the Knight of Swords. So these have very cool images. They're sort of between machinery and the tradition, because this style of dress is very old, but it has a mechanical aspect to it. Like on the back you see the gears and all of that. Now again, this is another thing, like I was saying, that people who read reversed cards, you know which one is reversed, which one isn't, because it's not symmetrical. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then there is the Celtic Tarot. Of all of my decks, this is probably my least favorite. The images are nice. I love the background. Oh, not background, but the back of the card. That's what I really bought this for. I love the red. The images are nice as well. So they passed the image test. But they changed the names, but you know, I got over that. This is the first deck I bought that changed the names. That's kind of why it's probably my least favorite, but I don't connect as much with the imagery. It's the Moon card. This is the name change, and they changed it to Cauldron instead of Cups, which is kind of common, but yeah, it's not something I would have done. The Shields instead of Pentacles. Chariot. Those are two dragons instead of horses, which is cool with me. There's the Star. Now this deck, as a word of warning, does involve a lot of nudity. And as somebody pointed out in the live stream, the King of Wands sits in a chair that looks like a penis. So before you buy it for someone or buy it for yourself, just know that that's going to be something featured. Let's go here. This one I love, 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 love. This is the Witch's Some people are really into like card stock, like what the card is made of. I don't care either way, but this one is very flimsy. And I love that because I love the way it shuffles because the cards feel soft, if that makes sense to you. And the imagery is also beautiful. Very, very vibrant cards. This is one of my, I think this is my icon on YouTube or something like that, I believe. That's what this is. The King of Swords. That'll be the air sign. That's me. So it's very good imagery. I really like the imagery. Very vibrant, very pretty. That could be like a postcard. And then I love the back. But again, for those who read reversed cards, you'll know which one is reversed and which one is not. But I love everything about these cards. They're not my favorite, but I love everything about them. This one, I was watching a reader read with these cards, the Witch's Tarot. I said, oh, I love those cards. What is the name of them? She told me Spellcaster's Tarot. So I ordered this thinking it was that. And then when I got them, I'm like, this is not the same. But turns out I like these too. That's the back of them. Again, you'll know which one is reversed and which one's not. But not right offhand. But what I really loved about these is they were sort of my first glimpse into tarot being inclusive. Like instead of the bond being between a man and a woman, it's between two women, one white and one black. And then you had, you know, this is a different take on the Chariot card as well. But the images are really nice. The only thing I didn't like about this deck is it changed the elements. The swords are cards of air, usually, and the wands are cards of fire. They attributed fire to the swords. So the swords took on a fire energy in this deck, and the wands took on an air energy. So that was the only thing that really kind of gave me pause. Is why they changed it. I don't know. I'm sure it's in the book, but like I said, I've only read one book ever. Actually, it was in there. I did look it up because I wanted to know why, and then I forgot because it wasn't that important to me because I know what they mean, so whatever. These two I bought together. There are 3 in this series, the Thelema and the Arcanum. They're very pretty. I love the imagery. The back I don't really care too much for, but the imagery is just gorgeous. Like they're very vibrant. Now they do have some similarities between the two, or between the two of these. They have a lot of similarities. This one's brown at the bottom, comes out the brown box. That one comes green box, it'll have green at the bottom, but a lot of the images sort of look the same, but they're different enough to where I would buy both of them. Very pretty. And these images are also very vibrant. Like, I really love those. And this one I seen online. There is also a very good tarot resource called Biddy Tarot, B-I-D-D-Y Tarot. She has her own tarot company, basically. She has also a deck called the Everyday Tarot. And she, on her Instagram page, posted this card. I said, oh, that's gorgeous with the ribbon kind of intertwined into there, so I had to look it up. And it's called the White Sage Tarot. Now these cards are itty of the bitty. They are very, very small. And typical tarot card, typical tarot card, and then here is the White Sage Tarot. They are really small. Like really, really small. Like smaller than playing card size. Like they are, I tried to describe them once as, you know, like the tips and tricks kind of cards. Like the little laminated advice cards. They're kind of like that. But I seen that and I loved that imagery. So I had to get it. And if you love animals, you'll love this deck because everything in here is an animal. All the court cards are animals. But there's a ribbon going through all of these cards as well. The pentacles are quite odd. They kind of remind me of some little tea shop or something. But there's the lovers. Five of Swords with the cut ribbon. And every time I shuffled this deck when I first got it, the King of Cups would pop out. It's a little otter. Now that I want him to pop up, he won't. But anyway, the animals are a lot more frequent in here than a lot of other decks. So there's the Devil and that Apple and that Temptation. Very awesome cards. They're cute, if I may use that word. This one, the Druid Craft deck. Gigantic cards. I forget what drew me to them, but they do have awesome images. But there was one, I think, in particular that I liked more than others, and so I jumped to it. Now, the Temperance card has changed the name to something I can't pronounce, and the Devil card is also changed to something I can't pronounce. So look it up if you wish. But typical tarot card, and then the Druid card. Gigantic. It's like a billboard. But they do have very nice imagery. I love the font. Now how you get upside down. Death card. Nine of Cups. The High Priest. Now you all told me what it means and all of that, but I'm just reiterating that the names of that's the Devil card. Cernunnos or something like that. And then Pfefferit or something like that with the Temperance. If you'll focus. That's the Temperance card. So, I love these two. I love the size of them. I do like big cards though. And this one is currently my favorite. Well, it's currently a tie. The golden ones, believe it or not, are not my favorite, but they're like number two. My favorite is the Aquarian. I don't know why, but we'll get to that. So the Afro Goddess Tarot by Andrea Furtick. She painted all of these images herself. And they are gorgeous. I love the size of them. They are big cards. They have a nice color to the stock as well. They have a nice stock to the card. This is not a cheap or flimsy card whatsoever. The back of the card as well has a nice high gloss to it. It does leave fingerprints when you first get it, but they fade in time. There's Africa on the back as well, if you can see that. Right here in this little black spot here. But they are gorgeous. She painted these. So there's the Chariot. The Seven of Pentacles. The Son of Wands. So she did change the name. So it's like the Sun And I forget what she calls the other ones, but this is my favorite image. Shows a person who has backstabbed everybody on the hill and then licks up the spoils. If you order cards from her, be patient. It takes a minute, but you will get it. Because mine was 360 out of 500. So, and she signs all of them herself. Mind you, people do still have regular lives to live, so be patient. And then there is everybody's least favorite, the Illus Tarot. The Illus Tarot is by Christy Propakayak, I think, or I don't know. I won't try to butcher that too many times. We'll leave that alone. Focus. Trying to let you see the name. That way you can look it up and get it if you want to. There you go. For about 9 seconds there. Anyway, because this video is going to be a 900 years. So, because mind you, there's a lot more in that box. So this one I had to get because she has celebrities in it. And it was very different, I thought. Like there is Andre 3000 as the Temperance. There's Lisa Bonet as the Magician. There is the King of Pentacles, Oprah Winfrey. There is Tupac as the King of Cups. There is some random white girl as the Page of Cups. Now, mind you, she does give you a sheet to tell you who everybody is. It's just that I have no idea who they are. Yeah, there's a lot of people in there I don't know. So there's Alanis Morissette. I do know her. TLC. India Irie. Her name escapes me. Her name is not Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore is in here, though. Courtney Cox. I think that's Katy Perry. Is that Drew Barrymore? Who is that one? I think it is. There's Missy Elliott. Sade, Lauryn Hill. Now, outside of that, though, the pip cards, as they call them, or these cards here, minor arcana, are very basic. Like, they don't indicate, this is the Eight of Cups. This is the indication of walking away from something. There is no indication of walking away. So, they're not for the beginner reader, because you're not going to get the most out of that card. This is a card of celebration. There is no celebration here. So, if you're just beginning, they may not be the cards for you. But to have something of a novelty, it's nice. And the back of the card looks like that has that pattern on it. So they're really nice. I like them. And this one, the Good Tarot, I really loved, but I always was sort of reluctant to pull the trigger on because they changed all the names, and this, you know how I am with the name thing. Seven of Earth, and then there are not, well, actually there are. I just never paid attention to it. But anyway, Seven of Earth, there are pentacles in there. They're on his shirt. I was like, there are no pentacles in the picture. But these are very beautiful. And so there's the Four of Air, because that's the swords. This is the Tower. So this one, this deck drew a lot of criticism because it was not holding true to the tarot, they say, because, for instance, the Tower is a card that indicates a violent, sudden end where lightning strikes the building and then the building's on fire and the residents of the building are sort of flung from the building. I really love this one because it depicts the White House. But That's the Tower, like the violent end to something. This one is peaceful. The sun is shining. It's got a big 16 in it and everything. You know, it's nice. And so the lady, Colette Baron Reed, who I believe created the deck, she said she wanted to take the good aspects or the tarot or take the tarot and make good aspects to all the cards. So the 3 of air could be separation, could be betrayal. She didn't want it to indicate betrayal and separation, just like she didn't want the Tower to indicate the violent end. She just basically called it a beginning to something else, which is what an ending is. All endings are just beginnings to something else. But she drew criticism on that because she didn't stay true to the meanings. But to each his own is what I say. If you don't like it, don't buy it. But if you understand the meaning of the cards, then that person's intent of the cards really doesn't matter. Because I read them like I want to, not how she wrote them. All I want is your imagery. You can keep your meanings, which is why I only have read one book. Mystic Mondays Tarot. I have no idea what that means because, like I said, I didn't read the book. But the first thing that drew me was that the images were very different. 4 of Pentacles. They're very computer generated. This is what it looks like. King of Pentacles. 10 of Swords. But I loved it all the same because it was very colorful. 3 of Pentacles. Like, I love the color. Now, when you first get them, I think these were brand new. I feel like they were just cut or something like that. Because they're very hard to shuffle because they're very stiff. These are very stiff cards. But they will drop little bits of black crap everywhere because the cards feel like they were just cut or something. And so you'll get mushnagoss everywhere. But I also love that reflection, that little iridescent shine on the cards. You know, I like sparkly things, so when they got here, that was a pleasant surprise. I lost count. We'll count them at the end. Tarot de la Nuit. This one is different. The images are gorgeous. The back is but it's gorgeous. That's the Fool. All of the pictures are basically like white women. All of them. And the criticism I had of this deck is not necessarily that they're all white women, because I don't really care about that part so much, is that they have nothing to do with the card. The Page of Swords, there's no sword in the picture. This is like headshots for a bunch of chicks. That's kind of what it feels like. There are some men in the pictures, but it's more, it just depicts everybody as something pretty instead of something useful to the card. There's no utility in the imagery. It's just pretty cards. There's the Death card. That's the closest thing to utility in the Magician that you really get. 2 of Cups. How this indicates a bond, I don't really know. But like I said, it's more along the lines of we just want everything to look pretty, not necessarily be a utility. But like I said, with the good tarot, once you know the meanings of the cards, it doesn't really matter. You know, it can be what it wants to be. It's not a big deal. The OK tarot. I have it in this box because I don't have a box for it, and you know I like sparkly things. The OK Tarot is also one of those decks where they said the man who made it said he was trying to make a deck that everybody could use. It's called the OK, as in O-K-A-Y, OK Tarot. But it's just OK if you ever search for it. And it's not great, it's okay, is sort of the slogan. And so everything is very basic. There's the 9 of Swords, card of stress and anxiety. So if you're trying to go off imagery, this won't work because this does not indicate stress and anxiety. King of Wands, Crown and 1 wand. 4 of Cups. This is your card of the offer and unsatisfaction. There's the Fool with the Bliss card. Ignorance is bliss. There is the 8 of Pentacles. So there are some of these cards like this one when the ignorance is bliss, because that's kind of what the Fool goes off of, just sort of stepping off a cliff, and we'll see what happens. And then there's the Lover's card, and so it's very basic. But I bought it because the images are very charming. And they were pink cards, and I've never seen pink cards in the tarot, so that had to happen. Now this one, for whatever reason, me and my snobbish, I need all my cards to be vibrant. I loved these. It's called the Aquarian Tarot. The back is not that appealing because it kind of looks like old bicycle playing cards. But the images, I just love them. I don't know why. This is not my style of art. This would be more my style of art because I like things vibrant and pretty. This is very... I don't know what it is. I just love it. I love that washed look, but I don't like the Rider-Waite washed look. But I like this one. And just, I don't know. I connect with it too. They changed the name of wands to rods, and they look like, you know, flower sticks. And I don't. That's not really my thing, but I really love them. I think they were meant for me. So I really connect with these. Right now, these are my favorite, I will say. They're tied with the Afro Goddess. This one I bought to pad the inventory, Crystal Visions Tarot. These are nice. They're like little fairy type cards and dust flying everywhere. But they're nice. They're basic, but they're nice. Like really great artwork. It's nice. Nothing bad to say about them. The back is weird, but nothing bad to say. I just like them. Jennifer Galasso did a good job. They're really nice cards though. This one, I was trying to just change it up. This one's weird. The Night Sun Tarot is very weird. Like very. I don't know what this is. That's not upside down. That's the way it goes. I don't know what those letters are. I don't know what none of that is. But there is the... What the hell is that? Everything's so small, you need 2 pairs of glasses. 3 of Pentacles. And there's a 3. But the images are really nice though. They're just strange. They're not strange. Strange is, I don't want to sound insulting. They're just different. They're strange. I'm going to say strange. These are your rod cards. All the rods look strange. Queen of Swords. The Lovers. And these Pentacle cards, well actually most of the minor arcana either depict an eye or an egg, or sometimes the egg is cracked. See, those are the wands. They're very weird. This is the 9 of Wands. This is the card of the uphill battle. So it's very gothic. King of Swords. Very gothic, very dark. That's the Ace of Wands. So it's very different. But I like them. I like them enough to have bought them anyway. Would I buy them again? Yes, I would, because they're different. You know, everything can be, you know, pretty and polished, so I like them. This one, I just wanted to get it because I like I like the name more so than I like the actual cards. The cards were And when I got them, like, I like them, don't get me wrong. Like the back of them, you know, they got that symmetrical thing to where you can turn it upside down if you want. The images are nice. They don't have bad images. Do have one sword in the 3 of swords, but, you know, they're not bad. It's a Knight of Pentacles. Very pretty. I like that they changed the animal from a typical horse to something else. But then everybody else just sort of sits on a pedestal. That's what I was sort of not liking at first. The 7 of Swords, one sword. Doesn't really depict a person being sneaky. But these are the ones. They're all on pedestals. So they were just a little strange. But they're nice cards. They have really nice imagery on it. You just have to get used to it. Because they don't really hold true to the meanings when it comes to the graphics on the card. But like I said, you just have to get used to it. Then there is the Fountain Tarot. I had this one. I bought several decks from Wish. Wish is an app, for those who don't know. It's an app on your phone where you can buy things basically directly from China. You can get them for instance, I bought this from Wish, this ring. It cost $7. I got this from Wish. Now, it comes directly from China and it takes you 900 years to get it, but once you get it, there you go. But it costs $7 whole. So I got a deck that said the Fountain Tarot originally from Wish. And when it came, it was tiny. I did a reading on the NRA when I first started my channel, and I used the Fountain deck. And I basically gave them away eventually because they were sort of knockoffs, really. This is the real one. I got it from Amazon. They also have that sort of reflective thing on the thing. But they're very odd imagery. That's the Devil card. And it was just really different. The King of Swords. It's got that prism thing going on. Everything is distorted. The 8 of Cups. 7 of Cups and the Page of Coins. Like, everything's sort of distorted. There's the 9 of Wands. So I just thought it was really different. Ace of Wands. And so it wasn't really one I was drawn to. At this point, right now, with all of this going on back here, I'm padding the inventory so I can use different decks, different readings, and things like that. So that's basically what that was. 2, I had it before, so why not get it again? There's another one I wanted to get called the Shadowscapes, but it was coming from an unknown source, so I'm like, I don't want that. Oh, and this last one is called the Luna Soul Tarot. And it has sort of the Sesame Street cartoony imagery, but it's really nice. I like it. It's different. There's a black man on the Temperance card instead of it's typically a white woman with the wings and carrying on, but it's different. There's the Death card. Fish out of water is what's on that card. I was like, what is that? This thing won't focus when I want it to. We're at the end, so whatever. But yeah, this is lineated disc. It's got all these different ones. It's got a bunch of pastel colors on it and really pretty cards. But I was looking through some of the imagery, like the Magician. It's a black woman instead of a white man. Oh, it's a black man, actually. And then the Five of Wands. The Six of Cups. So this really sort of cute, it looks Eastery with the imagery and the color, and it reminds me of Easter. There's the Emperor. So really nice cards. I like those. And that was the last one. So to all of the questions, or all the people asking me how many do I have, let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I have to buy one more so that it's even. So I have 29. 29 decks. That is how many I have. Yeah, we got to buy one more. And see, I don't like, what is it called? I always call it lemonade because that's the word that I see every time I look at it, but it's not lemonade. The one that looks like playing cards and it's got like the hearts and all that crap on it, I don't like those. So I'm not buying those. I got the Rider-Waite. I am conforming slowly, but I can't do with the Lemonade cards. What I really need is a box to put all this in. It's in a box, but it's very full. It's going. It's going. But I have an obsession now. I have an addiction to tarot cards. First step is admitting it. Second step is saying I'm not changing it. As the song goes, they try to make me go to rehab, and I said no, no, no. I need these. That's my addict speaking. I need those. Well, I really do, because it's not my job, but it kind of is. It kind of is my job to do this. Oh, mermaid. Gotta get you in there. One day I will have free time and I can actually... I want to read the Rider-Waite book, though. Because the Rider-Waite book is the OG. That's the original. Well, not the original as in tarot, but it's the one that all of these decks that I have base their cards off of. So, I should read that book. Because they have a Rider-Waite and they have like a Smith-Waite too, like the person who actually drew the imagery. Oh, good Lord. I need a coffee break just putting all these things in here. Lord have mercy. Goodness. Got too many cards, child. Lord. Goodness. Goodness. And then this damn black mess on my table. That's all right. I know what to do. Get you some of that. what you mean. Because I had to do it already, so I already have the thing here. But that's how many I have. I have 29. So I need one more. And to make 30. I'm going to search. There was one I was looking at. It was called the Book of Azeroth or something like that. But the more I looked at it, there's another one called True Black that I was also looking at. And there is another one called the Hardy Tarot. There is a Instagram page called the Indie Deck Review, and then they will send you, not send you, but they will post like independent tarot creators, and then they'll post their decks. That's how I found this one. It's from that Instagram page. That's how I found the Illis Tarot too. But anyway, it's enough rambling. So I got 29 decks. There you go. Thank you to all who watch. Thank you to all who comment, support, donate through PayPal and all that good stuff. I appreciate it very, 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 very much. It is currently 5:09 in the morning, so I'm going to take my 5:09 to bed. And I will see y'all. Actually, I got to post some videos today. I already did some. I'm going to post those here in a few minutes. Have a good night.